Hello and welcome to another edition of Becoming a Balanced Player. My name is Flaibras Amantikani and I'm going to be your host for a game called Diablo 3. So this is actually going to be a demonstration of the Sprinter/Speedrunner Conquest achievement that many people are ranting about on the forums, bashing their heads into a wall, thinking an hour 4 is their absolute minimum, and unable to beat Act 1 through Act 5 in 60 minutes or less. And so the purpose of this is to give you guys the heads up about all the stuff you can expect when doing a run of this achievement. So I'm here on my softcore character. Reason why I'm going to be doing a couple of things here that might involve my death by trying to explain, trying to write on the screen and stuff like that. And so if I die, I don't want to accidentally play my hardcore character with all of my optimized gear and die. So we're doing the softcore sprinter version. My hardcore actually has very slightly better gear, and so you'll notice that even on softcore I still do perfectly fine with, not the best gear, but it's okay. So first, of course, we want to start off by going to normal difficulty. You don't want to make things harder than necessary by being unable to one-shot stuff. You're going to go to campaign. If you've gotten full completion, you can certainly reset the quests, guaranteed legendary on Malthael, even though it's normal, and we're going to start at the beginning. And of course, we want to do a private game. So first, of course, what you want to do is if you're in a group, go ahead and invite everybody, and first, do an adventure mode. Tell everybody to look at their gems that are currently socketed, look at their gear, check their specs and their passives, look at a bunch of different stuff, maybe optimize their paragons, and of course, if you're in a group, you don't have to worry about your follower. So everybody should go through all that rigmarole, possibly make sure that their internet's got a good connection, so test it out a little bit, do a bounty or two, or not even a bounty, just do a race down some area that's kind of straight, like the Arrakis Crossing, I believe it is. Bridge of Corsic is it. Do a race down Bridge of Corsic in Act 3 towards Siegebreaker if you want to. But basically get ready, because then you're going to come back to this. Everybody can individually leave the game, and once you get to this, if you're the party leader, you'll see that game settings pops up. That means everybody's out, and so we can go to campaign, normal, everything, and then start quest. So in this instance, what we're going to do is we're going to actually go through the game, and I'm going to explain things on the fly. So if you haven't seen my guide on the build, the gear, paragons, all that stuff, go ahead and view that. And so what we're going to do in this is we're actually going to demonstrate the run, but not fully demonstrate. We're not going to do this in under an hour. This is for explanation of a couple of different concepts of the game, a couple of different points you might need to be iffy about, and just other words, explanations. So here you just run, you throw there, you can attack from a bird. So you'll see in my other videos that I post on YouTube and things like that exactly what I do and how I call stuff out to groups, and I'll let you watch those videos for the things that you want to do. One of the main things is you want to hold down, or you want to spam spacebar as much as possible when doing these runs. And when spamming spacebar, you can see I skip all the dialogue. And then when Leah comes here, I just spacebar and then start running out and keep on running. And I'm actually going to be showing a couple of tile things here as well. And again, I won't be playing optimally. You'll see me overshoot stuff. You'll see me miss stuff like that as well. Don't worry about it. This is intended not to demonstrate again the run. This is intended to teach you guys all the different tile sets to show you exactly what you need to be doing. Like there, I wasn't paying attention to my mini-map, so what I did was I ran all the way to the left up there. Let's decrease that by 1. That's a little bit better. So I actually went to the up left, but that's just because I'm not paying attention, and this is the kind of stuff I intend to do, is to not actually do the run, but show it to you. If this was an actual run, I'd already have reset a long time ago. So here, if you're doing a group run, you don't have to go back to town, but if you're doing it solo, you do. Talk with Captain Rutherford and then Leah, and then go back to, and don't accidentally vault there, come back here, and again, spam spacebar whenever possible. That's going to be your ticket to winning this. Some people think, oh man, the dialogue alone takes like 40 minutes. How in the world am I supposed to do this whole game in that fast? No, don't worry about it. It's spam spacebar. And I've actually got a macro that I toggle on and off to switch my force move key to left click. And so the purpose of that is so that I can hold down my left click and spam vault and stuff like that, and I'm not ever going to attack accidentally. So obviously I'm not doing the best job here, but now we're going to start talking about tiles, and so now this is a good place to start. This is the first place of RNG in the game. Everything up to this point was a static map. You can memorize it up to the vault positions that your mouse cursor needs to be at, and in a sense you can even automate it, but let's not bot this achievement, shall we? So when doing tiles, we're going to start talking about going to the minimap, activating this guy, and start talking. Okay, so one of the main things to notice about these runs is on the static parts, you can get good, but most people blame the RNG. Oh, I hit the wrong crypt. Oh, I did this wrong. Don't worry about it, because the moment that you hit great RNG at the beginning of a run, you're going to start getting some terrible RNG by the end of the run and say, oh man, I had a great start, but then if only RNG was better at the end. No. Sometimes you can have a not so decent start, but hit great RNG by the end. And so never give up before the thing is even completed. So you're always going to look for the couple of dots on the top of your mini-map. And so in this case, if you notice, everything on this map is curving to the down right. So first, I always go straight. There's the least amount of thinking involved in going straight. I just hold my mouse there, hit the doors, keep going down and straight. And then once I find a dead end is typically when I start turning around. Now we know the majority of this map is actually going to be in this direction. There could be some stuff up here, but there's a block there and a block there. So if it does, it's going to have to go up this way. Whereas this has two blocks that could potentially break open. And so in general tiling, this one's going to open up and be this area. Don't know exactly if my drawing is the best, if you guys can understand exactly what I'm trying to show, but it could be this area. Sometimes there's a pylon there, sometimes there's a pylon there. And typically this tile also is known for having Cormac on Cathedral level 3. And so this kind of map is going to open up to the bottom right. And so because of that, it's sometimes quicker to just check this real fast and say, okay, I'm going to go top left, see what's over here, nothing. But look at that. We already knew, we predicted that the map was going to open to the bottom right, and so we want to try and focus our attention there. And so now we notice that if this tile, and again, don't waste your time checking everything, you're looking at the mini-map. And so now, once again, we've got a choice to make. We could go up right, or we could go down right. Where's the likely place it's going to expand? Typically, these maps are in a square fashion, which means that we've already uncovered the 1 tile, the 2 tile, the 3 tile, but we've only uncovered 1 tile and 2 tile, so there's going to be a 3rd and possibly a 4th tile down here. So likely it's going to expand further this way, and we're going to try and go down right. So we're going to start by going down right in this kind of position, and it's not there. So of course, if you don't make the right turn immediately, just keep following it, eventually you'll hit it. And right here is the first place in a group game where there is an event. So we'll go ahead and I'll just tell you about events in the actual videos that I do the events in the groups. So here you can actually start up here, multi-shot over, explode them all, and then vault down. You can make those optimizations, don't worry about it. And Deckard Cain, you can actually go back to town. Back in season, I believe, 1 and 3, you could not go back to town here because you didn't have the town portal. But then they changed it so you could. So you can go back to town immediately, and it's Deckard Cain. And I still forget this talking order precisely. And so, of course, it helps to memorize the storyline a little bit, try and get the idea of what's happening where and when. So this way, you know the next step to take. So here is a good optimization is to run past to spawn all the zombies, throw in a couple multi-shots, and then spam spacebar. And then you notice that mirror is going to start barfing any time. But I must have missed an enemy. So, again, I'm not playing the best. You want to try and throw everything around. You want to try and throw a multi-shot this way, multi-shot this way, multi-shot, and just using your rockets. And that's why I prefer Arsenal in my build, for those extra rockets that can go around corners. When Mira's dying, you can actually spam spacebar and left-click on Hadrig to talk with him before his arrow, his exclamation point even appears. And again, you want somebody walking out here. So now at this point, Weeping Hollow is the first place where people try and what's called fish for a run. If you're not familiar with the concept of fishing, we can leave it up to a greater video to demonstrate that concept of fishing. But there are 3 of these crypts, and so there's actually a way to know which crypt you're entering based on a couple of different factors. So here, one of the things is this crypt already looks like it's not going to be the correct one, and let me explain why. The Jar of Soul